In a courtroom you cannot see, your name music has been read. Additionally, the decision has already been recorded in the book. The verdict is blessed. It is not earned, it is not pending review, and it is not dependent on how good your morning was. Blessed with power, in a room whose ceiling has never been measured by the human eye. For the next several moments, stay close. By the time we're done, I'll show you why what was said to you in that chamber will never be overturned by an appeal. I'm also going to lie, and I once asked Paul to write one paragraph from a Roman prison cell, your open hand, a line designed to be silent at this precise moment. That small personal concern that heaven's favor somehow pertains to other lives rather than your own. The ruling is the blessing. The decision remains unchanged. You are visible to me. Since everything in your week seems to be against the word blessed, it has been one of the hardest things for you to say aloud about yourself. At the kitchen table, a mother is counting bills, and the math is not touching down where she needs it to. A small piece of paper that a parent is reading a diagnosis on feels heavier than anything he has carried in years. While the years she had anticipated for her own milestones silently pass, a young woman observes her closest friends post one milestone after another. On the morning of his birthday, a man's phone is filled with birthday wishes for all of his contacts, but he has nothing for himself. A grandfather is unsure of which side of the ledger his life is on because he has lived long enough to lose more than he has gained. I can see inside all those peaceful chambers. Every hesitant prayer that started with the word Lord and trailed off because the word blessed got stuck in the throat behind it has been heard by me. I've been close to every chair where the realization that the blessing, the true one, the type, the music on Sunday, seems to presume that other people, sons and daughters with better time, must own a share of it. Lives with more tidy narratives and bodies that weren't preloaded with the specific wound you had. I'm going to walk it back out of the room because that conclusion has been the most costly falsehood any of you have been carrying. There is no irritation in how long has it taken you to perceive your own life the way I do. Instead, tenderness increases. From my perspective, the decision was made before the first page of your year's calendar was turned. There was nothing about your performance during the previous 10 years that could change it. Nothing in your situation this week has the power to change it either. There isn't a review. Only what is listed in the books is present. Furthermore, no one on earth or in heaven has the power to change the books. Your fear of being unbedded is more complex than it first appears. Some of you have a subtle hunch that the string of mishaps, the car that broke down the morning of the interview, the relationship that ended, the week, the new job that was meant to start, and the little inheritance that arrived just in time to vanish into someone else's emergency are all related. The incorrect term must have been subtly stamped on your file by the heavens. The voice of an adult who once declared, "You will never amount to anything," can still be heard by a grown child on a typical Tuesday afternoon. And for longer than you can recall, the verdict in your own mouth has agreed with that elder voice. Some of you compare your piece to others' visible portions and leave the comparison with a modest, personal opinion of your own. I didn't win. Some of you have started to believe that the term blessed only applies to the wealthy, the married, the well-bodied, the well-arrived, and that you cannot legitimately be referred to by such term aloud, regardless of who you are. Some of you have even silently started to believe that you are the exception to my guarantee. The one instance that escaped detection, the one incorrectly submitted file, the one name that was left off of the celestial list. The rest of the space appeared to be on. For one breath, gently place your palm across the front of your throat. The voice rises precisely at that point. Apply the least amount of pressure. Throughout your life, the word blessed has attempted to exit your mouth 1,000 times from that small area, only to be turned back at the gate. For 2 steady breaths, hold your fingers there. Take note of the tiny pulse that pulses against your fingertips. There is no merit on your side for such a pulse to be running. Every beat is your body's tiny